Okay, let's jump right in. Here are 10 easy 1-minute habits to stop the mess in your home. 1. Keep your kitchen sink clean. It doesn't have to take that long, but just take a minute to wipe out and clean out your kitchen sink once a day. It makes such a difference for the overall cleanliness of your kitchen, which in my opinion is kind of a centerpiece to the home. If the kitchen feels grody and unpleasant to be in, it's going to feel that way in your space. And I have to say, my mom is someone who always keeps her sink sparkling clean, and I always enjoy going into her kitchen and cooking with her there. So I can see what a big impact just doing this little thing can have. A second 1-minute habit is to throw away trash the moment you create it. I had this bad habit of setting down garbage on a counter after I used it, and I don't know why, when often it takes just a few more steps to throw it in the recycling or trash. But somehow my body and brain were wired to do this, so I've been working to retrain my habits and try to be mindful when I'm dealing with trash and moving around my space. One strategy for this is to have more little trash and recycling receptacles around your home, so it's just less effort to throw things away. A third one is to empty your trash before it gets to 100% full. If you wait till it's 100% full, then pretty soon it'll get over full, and then you'll be smushing things in, and then when you take the bag out, it'll inevitably break, and there'll be some kind of soppy mess to clean up after, which then makes also the taking out of trash that much more effort, that much more unpleasant, and it will discourage you from regularly taking out the trash. So just do it a little bit sooner when it's pretty much full, and it'll prevent future buildup of trash. Another tip for reducing the mess is to use merino wool clothing. Basically, the fibers are naturally odor resistant and antibacterial, so they don't smell as often and you don't have to do laundry as often. On top of that, merino wool is great for travel in that it doesn't wrinkle, it dries super quickly if you do wash it or make it wet for whatever reason. And it also is super good at regulating your temperature so that when you're hot, it kind of cools you off, and when you're cold, it keeps you warm. And so I'm excited to share the sponsor of today's video, Unbound Merino. What's great is they offer these beautiful, luxurious feeling merino wool clothing items using wool that's sustainable, ethically sourced, and cruelty-free. And yes, merino wool does have in general a slightly higher price point, but in reality, it can make your closet far more minimalist and therefore easy to keep tidy because you do not have to wash it as often. It's also very soft and smooth against your skin and very light. I also like the aesthetics of their clothing design. They're really comfortable. They're understated, timeless pieces. There aren't any super apparent logos, and they make incredibly versatile clothing. This top I'm wearing right now is Unbound Merino, and I absolutely love it. It keeps me really warm, it's still light, and I just don't have to do as much hefty laundry. It truly is a life hack. If you're interested in trying out some Unbound Merino, check out the link at the top of my description box. Using that link is also a great way to support the channel, and I truly feel like these are timeless, minimalist pieces that will become staples in your closet and really reduce how much effort it takes to take care of your closet. Another tip is to wipe off appliances after you use them. If you use a toaster, turn it over, empty it out, just give it a quick wipe. Wipe down your stove, even wipe down your washer and dryer, because sometimes that quickly accumulates lint or just grime. And I think if your appliances feel sparkling clean and don't have a bunch of like fingerprints or grease on them, it just makes your entire home feel way more pleasant to be in. Another habit is to do a 1-minute declutter every day. Pick a junk drawer or a closet or even part of a closet. Just take a few things out and declutter them. If you're regularly engaging in tiny micro declutters, it will add up over time. As part of this, I think a nice little hack is to have a basket or some kind of bag or box always in a specific spot in your home where you can throw things that you intend to donate. That again reduces friction or effort it takes to actually declutter something, and that way you can intersperse it into your days regularly as opposed to needing to have this formalized declutter. Another one is to wipe off or rinse your dirty dishes right away. It can have rippling effects in reducing the effort it takes to keep your home clean. Because again, the kitchen is sort of this centerpiece to your home. It's a central area where people socialize, congregate, cook, maybe even eat. But if it builds up with mess, it can start to feel overwhelming and lead to stress. Part of this too is the core lesson that the sooner you do it, the less of a job it'll be. When you procrastinate something, sometimes it makes the job more difficult. I know when I leave something out and things dry on a plate, it's that much harder to clean off. And then I dread doing the dishes even more. If I instead just get into the habit of quickly wiping it off, clearing it off, and throwing it in the dishwasher, it makes my life so much easier in the long run. This one I know probably most of us know, but it's still nice to just give that reminder, even to myself, to remember to do this. It really makes a huge difference. An 8th habit is to pick a different flat surface each day to clear off. Because as I've mentioned on this channel before, there is real research to support the idea that clutter leads to higher levels of stress for people and might even impact them on a hormonal level, on a level where it impacts the levels of cortisol in your body. So doing these quick 1-minute surface tidying sessions every day could have rippling effects on your quality of life. A 9th one, hang up your coat when you arrive home. Again, sometimes this takes a little behavioral retraining, but once you get in a new habit of just hanging it up and you make it easy to hang it up, maybe you have a hook, maybe you keep your closet less full so that it's easier to hang the coat. But if you start to make that change consciously for just a couple of weeks, you'll see it becomes easier, and it does make a difference. 10th, recycle your junk mail as soon as you walk through the door. Don't set it down. As soon as you set it down, you forget about it, you don't deal with it, and then you still have to eventually recycle and deal with it. So the sooner you just say, okay, I'm going to take 30 seconds to go through and recycle the obvious junk mail, it makes going through the mail then also less intimidating, so you probably put it off less. Like if the pile is like this versus if you quickly get rid of the obvious junk and it turns down to this, you're more likely to deal with the mail sooner. Another one is to put away your toothbrush and hairbrush out of sight after you're done using them. And the reason I mention this is because, at least historically for me, those were two things that often got left out on the bathroom counter. And they'd always bug me. They add to the visual clutter. Going into the bathroom and taking a shower or whatever then goes from something that's kind of serene and clean to something that feels chaotic and stressful. And so I think having an easy place to put your toothbrush and your hairbrush that is low friction. So again, like having a whole shelf just for your hairbrush or having a specific easy spot to place your toothbrush can reduce that level of constant clutter that just always seems to be in the bathroom. This one is more car related, but it's to bring in something from your car every time you come in from the car. Now, eventually, if you have nothing in your car, this wouldn't apply. So often, I just leave trash or bags or old things in the car if I don't need them right away, and it ends up building up, and then my car gets unpleasant to be in. More recently, I've adjusted my approach. I take everything I can carry out of the car with me when I'm leaving the car, and it just keeps that car a little bit tidy. And then also every time I get into my car and go out for the day, it's like I'm starting off on the right foot. I feel good in my car. It's a pleasant space to be in. It's not smelly. So just adjusting this little behavior can make a huge impact. Again, it doesn't build up as much, and then it's not as much of a chore. Another one that fits with that thematically is to always bring something upstairs or downstairs with you when you go to a different part of your home. I don't know about you, but at least for me, quite often there are things I need to bring down, like my water cups, what I call comfort waters at night, that often I don't even fully drink, but they're there for comfort knowing I have water in the middle of the night if I need it. Well, the more I just remember to take those down with me when I'm going downstairs, the less clutter and the less messy my home will be. Another one is to fold your throw blankets after use. And now I'm not 100% on this one, but one hack that I've used is to buy blankets that are really pretty, that it's almost an aesthetic choice to partially leave them out. Like I have a big fluffy blanket on my couch in my living room here that I just kind of set over the side of it, or maybe fold it once and then set over the side of it. And that way it's welcoming, it looks cozy, but I don't have to do like a full folding job every time I want to use a throw blanket, because believe me, I use it a lot because I work from home, and even sometimes I work sitting on the couch with the throw blanket. So I like to have easy access to it. It's easy to pull out, it's easy to put back, but the more I just remember to put it back in a slightly nicer looking way, the more pleasant my entire space feels. I will say often Ginger is a little bit of a barrier to doing this because she gets settled in the fluffy blanket a little too often, but it's cute. A 15th related habit is to fluff your pillows. Again, it can take about 30 seconds of your time, but if you fluff your throw pillows, your entire living room space will feel that much more inviting, not just to your guests, but also to you. The 16th one is to just take 1 minute a day to clear a few things out of the refrigerator or even to just wipe down one of the shelves. You don't have to spend long, but if you do it regularly, then again, there's not that huge buildup of stuff. Another one is to use clutter catchers. This is less of a habit and more of just a hack, but the more you can have baskets or receptacles that are easy to throw things in, the less likely stuff is to stay on the counter and the visually apparent places. So just using baskets, bowls, boxes can make a huge difference, because then you can also take that basket and put it out of sight at a time when you're not going to be using that stuff. An 18th one is to consolidate bottles or boxes. When you have a bottle or a box of some kind of food or shampoo item or home care item, if you can consolidate them before you're done with them, then they take up half the space. So say combining shampoo bottles, combining dishwasher tablets into one receptacle, doing what you can to use all of the products that you have, but consolidating them before you're quite done with them. Because when things are less crammed, you're more likely to put things away. Anyway, those were my, 18 1-minute easy habits or tips to reduce the mess in your home. I'd love to hear all of your little tips and habits too. I know some of you out there have great ones, so I'm all ears. But I think if you gradually fold some of these into your days, it really makes a difference, not just in how messy your home feels, but how confident you feel, how comfortable and serene you feel in your space, how likely you are to want to host or invite people over, especially on a whim. And so I think doing these little things and consciously changing and breaking some bad habits can make such a difference to your life in general. But anyway, if you're interested in Unbound Merino, like I said, that is a great life hack to make laundry easier, to make travel easier and better, so you can pack lighter, helps you have a more minimal wardrobe. Anyway, can't say enough about that. Click the link at the top of my description box. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. You can also subscribe below. Both those things are excellent ways to support the channel. And if you take a moment to do both those things, it would just personally mean a lot to me. Anyway, thank you so much for spending this little bit of time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!